some result comparisons, discuss some general elements, and then next meeting. I'm assuming that there's no amendments to the last meeting's minutes. We haven't received anything from Frederick, etc. We, we normally amend them if we do get that information. In terms of the action items, we needed to rerun some of the simulations of adjusted culverts for 10-year return period at UK sub 26. I've actually, okay, somebody's joining now. We've kind of stopped that process, and the reason that we stopped that process is that we were having a look at the road design related to that, and we needed to go through the road design before we did the actual culvert scan, because we find that we're starting to repeat stuff the whole time. And some of the things on the road design didn't make a lot of sense. So we've kind of stopped that at the moment. And then this one over here, comment on additional crossings and design specs. I've gone through that and I have done those comments. So I'm going to send them back to you shortly so that you can have a look at them. Sharing with the pipe culvert dimensions, Frederick did that, so we've received those. The CAD files for the design profiles, if they're available, I don't think we've received that yet. And then these other ones we have completed because we had a look at the different culvert dimensions. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because these haven't changed much. We calculated the size of culverts related to these areas. What we did is we've calculated these on the box culvert dimensions, but we need to now, having a look at the road design, some of them are box and some of them are pipe culverts, but I also just need to pick up a couple of elements related to the culvert designs there. So these were calculated on that. We put structures in place over the roads that had look at that. And again, these actually need to change because your profiles have changed on the roads. And then we put culverts in to see whether that could be handled. So there's culverts that are put on between those two particular sites. One site, the culverts are actually handling the flow quite effectively and managing to carry it through. You can see that there's a bit of a larger backwater effect behind the culvert, which is expected, but it's not really influencing anything upstream of it. The one downstream is just a little bit too small, so we need to just make that a bit bigger because it is flowing over the top of the road very slightly. It's in this 0.1 to 0.2 meters, so between 10 and 20 centimeters over the top. But we'll increase the size of that. Again, you can see the backwater effect associated with that. So getting a lot more water sort of pushing up around the sides of these culverts. Same thing with these road crossings. We just need to sections there. So this is in which catchment is this series?
This was in catchment 10.
In catchment 10. Again, we've put design culverts to go into these different sections and then place culverts across the sections to manage the flows. You'll see that they go across the road in a slightly different sort of directions. The reason simply for that is that you just put them generally in the direction of flow on a particular stretch. Yeah, you can see this has basically been handled quite well. Most of the water is not there. There's a little bit of water overflowing the section here, so we need to increase that slightly. This one over here we're managing it reasonably well, but again, we're getting some water flowing over on the left-hand side over here, so we need to fix that. This one is fine. It's taking it. There is a little bit of extra flooding into this back area, but this has already been flooded, as you can see here, so it doesn't really influence it that much. Similarly here, you've got the situation related to that handling most of it. There's a little bit of flow of the road that you can see over here. This is catchment 17. Yes, some of the road crossings related to that. Again, designed on a box culvert and those put through. This one again is reasonably handled, except that the one section is too low, so that's why it's flowing over the side over here. So we'll redesign that. These ones over here, the section is managing the water fine, but we're getting some overflows on this section here, so we need to increase that. Just on here, so that we haven't really done more on the modeling side of things because we wanted to go through the road design that you've got associated with these different elements. And I just, I'm going to send you through these comments now related to this. But there are situations, I'm just trying to get to, is that, it's not going up. Yeah, so in some of these places, like I don't really understand why he's put culverts in certain of the areas and not put them in others. So it's actually quite a good example. So if we look over here, this section over here is river flowing where you've got quite a substantial river flow. It's a little bit deceptive because what's been put down here is just the water depth. I mean, the velocities, etc., which we have sent through would also be quite good to have a look over here. But this over here, you definitely need a fjord on, which corresponds to this area over here. And this section, you know, this is basically surface drainage that's coming off here. So I don't even know whether you need culverts in either of these. I mean, what you could do is just divert the drain down the side and into the main river here, because these are very small flows that are going through here, and you would see that on the section. So even though there's a little bit of depth, I don't think there's much velocity here. And again, if you've got the road coming like this and you've elevated it, which you have, it's just better to divert it down into the river here and let the river handle it. So those are the types of things where there's a bit of sort of strange elements associated with that. And then some of these things are on slope, and I don't really, like 48 over here is not, that's just surface drainage. So it's just pooling a bit. It's not really flowing there. So I don't think that's necessary. So there's those types of sort of comments. And there's also, just want to pick out one here. I'm not really under, yeah, I think this is a good one here. Yes. So the road engineer's come in here and he's cut this away, and then he's come up again and he's put a culvert over here. Now, if we have a look at the side thing over here, it's like that's 10 and 8. So your box culvert that's intended to go there, or yeah, it is it? Yeah, it is a box. So there's a box culvert that's designed to there, but that box culvert, or at least the designs that we were given, were 2 meters high. So I don't really understand why he's gone right down to base over here. It's to me, you should go across the top over here and then put your culvert in this section there. So I don't know, Frederick, have you? I've tried to comment on these, and I can send this through to you now. I'm just not sure how to conceptualize these drainage designs and put them in.
Yes, thank you for your review on this. Yes, I was also a bit surprised by the options proposed by the field engineer. So thanks for the review. I don't know if you have already finished your review, including all your comments.
I've finished my comments just before this meeting, Frederick, so I'll send them through.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, there's other things like he's got you see here, he's got his placement of his Forden pipe over there. When this is the sort of low section here. So that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because he would have the pipe sitting over there when it should be kind of over here. It's just, yeah, some of it's a bit strange. And, I haven't, what I've done is on some of these things where we've got small rivers, or small sections like this one over here at 44, this little catchment over here is not very big, and you do need a pipe to maybe manage this particular section.
I agree.
But it's a small pipe, so we will just the normal drainage design should be able to. I mean, we'll just do an SCS and work out the size of that particular pipe there. But I mean, there's a huge amount of fill. This one's in the right place, but there's quite a few where I haven't really. Yeah, I don't understand why we've got a pipe over there. I mean, I know that it's got that, but again, it's a little bit of surface drainage. I
Yes,
can't.
definitely we can optimize and this solution, this proposition done by the field engineer. Yeah, so what I propose for that, thank you for your comments. If you can share it to me, I will share it to our field engineer for their review, and we'll check if we will need maybe a clarification review specific meeting with our field engineer to discuss on it and to check this point.
Okay, no, that's great. So I'll send that through to you. You'll get that in the next 15 to 20 minutes, I think, because I have gone through all of these now. Frederick, one of the things that I did want to find out is whether you have actually got the DWGs associated with that, because then it takes away some of the guessing if he's going to put these sort of units here related to it. But, I mean, here's another example. If I just zoom in here, the culvert placing over there, it would have to be down at the base of your, I mean, this is your low flow point here, so you need that moved across. And we would do this with 2D modeling, but yes, I mean, your flow is going to come through there. And again, I'm not quite sure why you don't make it a sort of bridge structure across versus just a culvert. I mean, there's a reasonable amount of flow that's coming down there. I suppose you can cut it in and then you just make it a fjord, but it's that deep groove there is going to cause issues, and that's where your pipe should be. But maybe, yeah. So I'll send those through to you, but this is what going back here, is do we have the DWG file for these sections over here, his CAD files that he's generated to make this?
I don't have this. It's not finally. It's not based on AutoCAD. It's based on the internal tools from DNV. So we don't have the native file for this drawing and layout.
Okay. Right, yeah, because I just need to, like these road heights over here, I mean, I can then take them off. I mean, I can sort of guess them here. Yeah, that's not a good example, but yeah, so 13 there, for instance. I mean, I can have a look at what he's intending for the road height here, and then put them in. But I'm reluctant to do some of this because I don't want to sort of repeat having to redo these simulations again over and over. It takes quite a long time to set the each of these sections up with the road, and then include it into the mesh. So I'm not quite sure how to handle this process.
I have a question related to you indicated on the drawing provided by the field engineer the position, the wrong, the not relevant position of the culvert of the pipe proposed by the field engineer, and from my point of view, they propose this position based on the hydro impact. But my question is, do you think that we can have some mistake on the hydro impact? Because when you see the profile, I was wondering if the water can have this impact, this real impact. So finally, yes,
Yeah.
I'm not sure about you. You see my point? So
yeah. So, for instance, here, well, you see, I don't know what files he's used. I think he's just used water depth on the 100 years and 200-year floodline. So, to me, he's just taken the middle section over here and not actually had a look at because there's your profile there. So, going across now, if I was
not specifically in this example, but for other example, when you see hydro impact and on slope, on a slope, and I'm a bit surprised.
Yes, I have commented on those. There are, I know what you're talking about. Let me just try and find an example. This one might be quite a good example here. So this section over here, for instance, where you've got some water accumulating here, this is on the edge of the grid. So you haven't actually got any real flow that's happening in this particular section over here. It's not a scenario where there's anything. It's related to the edge effect associated with the catchment delimitation at that particular point. Now, you haven't got a problem there, but if I have a look at 58 over here, which I think he's got, let's just zoom in again. Yeah, so 58 there, while there is some water that looks like it's flowing, I mean, there's just a tiny little bit there. That's not actually, there's no real water flowing. That's just a little ponding scenario that's happened in that area. So there's no reason to have a ford there. And I'd need to have it, I need the spatial elements to see where he's put these things, because I'm guessing a little bit on that. So that's particular section over there, for instance, that's definitely, that doesn't, that shouldn't need anything, but I can see what's happened there is that here's your little dip. So this is the topography, this over here, and there's been a little bit of a flow accumulation in that area there. So the water sort of ponded or pulled, or maybe is flowing slightly in that. So that you can actually see it there, because that's on the profile. So it is going there. However, he's cut the whole, he's cut through there. So if he's cut that all out, the water's going to flow down here, and then it's just going to go down the road. It's not going to, if that makes sense. I don't know whether I'm explaining myself very well. but he's cut through this section over here where there was a little bit of accumulation. So what you have is a situation where the water, if it flows here, it'll then go down the road to this point here. So you just need road drainage on the sides. You wouldn't need. There's definitely no need for a culvert there because it's you've gone below ground surface. So you can see there is a little bit of a channel, but it's tiny and it doesn't need to be there. So to me, the models picked that up, and it would go. And I think those types of things, because what happens with that the model is it's taking the surface drainage, and it's so anywhere where there's a depression or anything like that, some water will accumulate. But it's not necessarily flowing. So you kind of actually have to look at it with the other information related to the flow velocities and stuff like that. And anything, and we've also put in the engineering designs associated with these things. And I don't, so I understand what you're sort of saying. This is also probably a good example here. This area over here, this is again is a consequence of the catchment division. When you see these kind of blocky edges here, what's happened is that the catchment delimitation hasn't gone exactly along the setup because we're using bigger cells to generate the thing. We hadn't had the LiDAR yet when we did the catchments. So this is just an edge effect onto the edge of the catchment. It's got nothing, there's no real flows associated with that. But these ones along the river are heavy. And even if you saw the calculations that we had with the velocity information, this would be zero. So yeah, I mean, it's just, there's a couple of things related to that. These types of things where you see that happening, that's just local pooling, either because of an edge effect or just a little depression in your 2D model. Does that explain it?
Yes. From my point of view, the field engineer answer the request based on the hydro impact without any other consideration. That's we definitely have to cross-check their option to indicate them which one have to be considered or not. So this is part of your comment.
Yeah, because we've given 3 sets of information related to this. So there's the flows that you have, which are so you've got flow depth, and again, flow depth. I mean, you can have water accumulating here. There's very, very shallow, and what they've done is they've just taken the water there. If it's shallow and it's not flowing down a channel line, it's just drainage that's pooling. And so if you have a look at the velocity, then if you see that the velocity is not high, then you have a look at it. But there's another one which is called energy head. And the energy head in these specific cases is actually taken to have a look at structural impact. And if the energy head and velocities are low, you're probably not going to really need a structure in those places. So this one over here, that's there's already a drainage structure there related to that, but it's also a question of whether that particular drainage structure is good enough to manage it. But yeah, I mean, so I've put these comments in so you can sort of see related to that. Yeah. So I'll send that through to you now.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right, cool. Right, well, I think that covers everything from my perspective, Frederick. But yeah, I mean, I think we almost need a iterative discussion because what I'll try and do is map out these areas. It's just the spatial location of these we need to find. It's quite difficult going back, but back and forth between the PDF and the ArcGIS, trying to work out where these different sites are. So it'd be good if we could get just like a better sort of idea of the things. And it's also these gradients that he's got over here with the different road heights. We kind of need those to put that in as a road structure. So it's a good option. As you see,
I
you need to put the road
share.
across.
Yes, I can share you a shape file, but without profile. Is it what you mean? A shape file of the roads.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. No, that'd be good if you could send that through. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yes, but the profile will not be included. Only
Okay.
the shape file.
I think that should be okay, because I'm hoping that we can then just link them in. I don't know what these numbers are linked to, so it's kind of, we've got these like 73 over there and 31, etc. I don't, because those we kind of need to have a look at. But here's a good example. There's again, there is a depression here and there is some water that is flowing off, but in actual fact, this water that's on the south is going south down towards the river here, and the north is going off towards the river there. And if you're going to put a road structure in here, I don't actually think you need a pipe, because that will become the highest sort of point as you're going across the saddle, and that the water will go in that direction and that direction. It might have some pooling, I guess. And again, you need to put it at the lowest point on the profile, not just where you think there's water. But I can't really zoom in there. I'm not actually seeing
I agree.
water pooling there from the.
I was also surprised by this. But by this option, I think they are a bit conservative, and so they need some confirmation on requirements and.
Okay. All right. So I suggest we have a look at these types of things. So if you can share the road layout, that would be great. And then I think we've got it, but I just trying to link to some of these areas because I'm not exactly sure, but we'll examine them. So in the case of some of these, like for these very small culverts and stuff like that, like 41 over here, there's definitely water that's flowing down there. And again, it's unique at 27. So where is he put? This one I couldn't actually find. I couldn't work out. Oh no, sorry, it's not there. This is that profile there. Okay, sorry. I was a bit further along. There it is there. Yeah, so 41 there, you do need that pipe because you've got this sort of fill in that you've got related to that. But that we would just calculate with a standard SCS model. We're not going to run a 2D model on that because it's such a small drainage area that you don't really have to worry about it. So it is underneath, but your pipe would just maybe should be up sufficient for that. Anyway, I'll send this through to you so you can have a look. Yeah, I think this one we both picked up as a problem. It's like
I think sometimes I have the same comment on for some part.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. Oops, I don't know what I did there. Just cancel it. Yeah, okay. All right, so yeah, I mean, there might be some artifacts in the model, and I've kind of identified those, and I'll send this through to you now so you can have a look at it. Cool. I think that covers everything from my side of things. I am going on leave, and I think Sayuri's also going on leave for a short bit. I'm going down to the coast. So Yuri, what days were you going again?
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week, and then the Monday in the following week.
Okay. Yeah, so next week is probably not great. I am away for 2 weeks, but I should be able to be on internet on the second week. So my suggestion is if we're going to do another meeting, if we can do that on the week of the 16th through to the 17th through the 21st, if that's possible.
Yes, from on my side, I will be off next week, and Nicolas will be there in 2 weeks. We'll be back in 2 weeks. So you can plan it, including Nicolas in 2 weeks. No problem on my side. I have a question related to the expected date of the deliverables. Finally, the report of all your studies. When would you expect to deliver this report?
So essentially, we've done that. We've actually. I think this is
for the crossing. I mean for the crossing. Not for the we have received this report.
Okay, you've got this. Yeah, so the additional drainage. I mean, there's two ways we can do this. Frederick, we've this report over here is like the hydrology. So what we can do is we can do a technical note.
Yes.
To add to this with the sections, or we can add it into this report. I prefer a technical note though, because I think it's easier to putting it in. It just expands this report. So you have received this report. So this is what we sort of finally delivered, but we just need to do the drainage now. So we can send that through to you, but and we'll give you the design dimensions for the different sort of road crossings. But the final simulations, we need to actually understand what's happening here, because we've done these, and we need to make some adjustments here, but these might not be aligning with the roads that you guys have got. So I think we need to just go through that process before we finalize it.
Okay, what I propose is maybe we can start with a draft report, including the parts which are not already described or defined.
Okay.
And we let this point open until the solution is.
It's finalized, yeah. Because we can, all of these sections where you've got road crossings on here. If you give me the final roads, and then what we can do is any of these heavy road crossings where there's big, there's quite big sort of flows. So here you've got these meter things, but this is also, this might be a good example, is you've got a road going along here. A lot of the side drainage is not that significant. There you need a properly designed culvert. There you would need a properly designed culvert. There you would need a properly designed culvert. These smaller flows over here, you can probably manage reasonably effectively without too much of a problem. Anyway, I'll send that through to you. So we have done this final report looking at the different elements and the velocities and stuff like that. So I'm going to leave that and just do a technical note for the additional sections, if that makes sense, for the drainage across with these road crossings.
Okay, on my side.
Cool. All right. So let's meet in 2 weeks' time. And yeah, we can then, I will send that stuff through to you now. And Yuri and I will discuss how we can map some of these sections out, and then maybe what we can do is just discuss which ones we think need a 2D simulation and which ones need can just be managed by normal design specs.
Okay. Do you want me to share you the shape file with the drainage proposed by the field engineer?
Yes,
Yes.
please. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
No problem.
All right. Yeah, that wraps it up from my side. Is there anything else that you guys want to have a look at?
No.
Are we going to set a date for that week?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I guess about Wednesday, so that'd be the 19th. Probably be good for me.
Okay, I think Nicola will be there.
Yeah.
Celeste, are you okay with the 19th? The same
Yes,
time
yes.
as today?
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
We can send the invitation. Thank you.
All right. Will
Okay.
do.
All right. Fantastic. Thanks, everybody. And I'll
Enjoy
send
your
that
meeting.
those comments on that thing immediately after this meeting.
Okay, good. Thank you, Jed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye.
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 Bye.